V2G sounds like a dream. Your Tesla sits in the driveway, earning money while you sleep by selling stored power back to the grid. But the battery degradation math behind V2G deserves a much closer look before you sign up for anything. Here is what actually shows and what it means for your specific battery chemistry. Start with where Tesla actually stands on vehicle-to-grid, or V2G, in 2026, because there is significant confusion between what is available now and what is coming. Tesla currently supports vehicle-to-home, or V2H, bidirectional charging on the Cybertruck in select markets, allowing the truck's battery to power your home during outages or peak rate periods. Full vehicle-to-grid functionality, where your car actively sells power back to the utility grid, is still in limited rollout, with Tesla's Powerwall and energy products doing most of that work rather than the vehicles themselves. That distinction matters for this video because the degradation question is real, regardless of whether Tesla's own V2G rollout has reached your market yet. If you are considering any program that uses your Tesla's battery for bidirectional energy flow, the research on what that does to your battery over time applies directly to your decision. The most comprehensive research on V2G battery degradation, published in 2025, produced numbers that are more nuanced than either the optimistic marketing or the pessimistic warnings suggest. V2G increases the battery degradation rate by 9% to 14% over 10 years. Unlike the calendar degradation process, which contributes 85% to 90% of total degradation over 10 years, without V2G, the cyclic degradation process contributes only 10% to 15%, and that increases to 20% to 25% with V2G in different scenarios. V2G only adds to cyclic degradation with an average of 0.31% increase in total degradation per year due to V2G for 33 charging and discharging cycles. Let me translate those numbers into practical terms. Without V2G, calendar aging dominates your battery's degradation over a 10-year ownership period, contributing 85% to 90% of total capacity loss. The charge cycles from normal driving contribute only 10% to 15%. V2G adds additional discharge cycles on top of your normal driving cycles and shifts that balance, increasing the cyclic degradation contribution from 10% to 15%, or up to 20% to 25%, depending on how frequently and how deeply you participate. The 0.31% additional annual degradation figure assumes 33 V2G charging and discharging cycles per year. That is a relatively moderate participation level. Owners who participate more heavily in V2G programs, discharging their battery multiple times per week rather than roughly 3 times per month, will see proportionally higher additional degradation. The research makes clear that V2G degradation scales directly with participation frequency and depth of discharge during each V2G session. Recent reviews indicate that average added degradation remains below 0.9% per year under optimized operating conditions, suggesting that degradation outcomes depend on operating profiles and control strategies rather than V2G participation alone. That finding is important because it means the difference between well-managed V2G and poorly managed V2G is significant. A smart V2G system that discharges the battery shallowly, avoids high temperatures, and operates within a narrow state of charge range produces dramatically less additional degradation than a system that cycles the battery deeply and frequently without thermal awareness. Here is the cost calculation that most V2G marketing materials never show you. A Tesla Model Y long-range NMC battery costs roughly $10,000 to $15,000 to replace out of warranty in 2026. That pack is rated for approximately 1,500 to 2,000 full charge cycles before reaching 80% capacity. Each full cycle therefore costs roughly $5 to $10 in battery wear depending on your pack size and replacement cost assumption. A V2G discharge session that uses 20 kilowatt-hours from your battery is not a full cycle, but it is a meaningful fraction of one. At a conservative $7 per full cycle cost, and with a 20 kilowatt-hour discharge representing approximately 25% of a full cycle on a 75 kilowatt-hour pack, each V2G session costs you approximately $1.75 in battery wear before you account for any compensation received. Over 33 V2G sessions per year at that wear cost, the annual battery degradation cost of moderate V2G participation is roughly $58. That sounds manageable until you compare it to what V2G programs are actually paying. Most current V2G pilot programs in the UK and Australia are paying between 5 and 15 cents per kilowatt-hour for exported energy. At 20 kilowatt-hours per session and 15 cents per kilowatt-hour, you earn $3 per session or roughly $99 per year for 33 sessions. After subtracting the $58 battery wear cost, your net annual benefit is around $41. In the base case, the increased cost in battery degradation, coupled with the cost of a bidirectional charger, results in costs exceeding benefits by at least 1.39 times. The economics improve significantly if you have an LFP battery, which brings us to the most important chemistry distinction in this entire video. LFP is significantly more suitable for V2G use than NMC, and the cycle life data explains exactly why. LFP batteries are rated for 3,000 to 5,000 full cycles compared to NMC's 1,500 to 2,500. That means the cost per cycle on an LFP battery is roughly half of what it is on an NMC battery at equivalent pack replacement cost. The battery wear cost per V2G session on an LFP Tesla is therefore significantly lower than on an NMC Tesla, which changes the break-even calculation meaningfully. An LFP owner running the same 33 V2G sessions per year is consuming battery cycle life at roughly half the cost per session, which could push the net annual benefit from $41 to $70 or more depending on the compensation rate. LFP also handles the thermal stress of additional cycling better than NMC. The olivine crystal structure that makes LFP more resistant to calendar aging also makes it more tolerant of the additional heat generated by frequent bidirectional cycling. NMC's lower thermal runaway threshold means that aggressive V2G use in warm climates generates more cumulative thermal stress per cycle on NMC than on LFP, further widening the chemistry gap for V2G suitability. The practical conclusion for chemistry is clear. If V2G is available in your market and you are considering participation, an LFP Tesla is a significantly better candidate than an NMC Tesla from a battery longevity perspective. NMC owners considering V2G should model the battery wear cost carefully before enrolling. The break-even math at the program level is more complicated than the per-session calculation suggests, and the research puts a specific number on what compensation rate actually makes V2G worthwhile. To break even on degradation rate and infrastructure cost, the comprehensive economic analysis estimates the V2G compensation as €132 per megawatt-hour of V2G energy flow in the 2030 scenario and €70 per megawatt-hour in the 2050 scenario. Converting €132 per megawatt-hour to a per kilowatt-hour rate gives you approximately 13 euro cents per kilowatt-hour as the break-even compensation rate in 2030 conditions. Current V2G programs paying 10 to 15 cents per kilowatt-hour in local currencies are therefore operating right around the break-even threshold for moderate participation, which means the margin between V2G being financially beneficial and financially neutral or negative is very thin at current compensation rates. The initial V2G revenue may struggle to cover early-stage battery aging costs, but the subsequent slowdown in degradation may eventually offset these costs. With appropriate charging and discharging strategies, the maximum revenue per year reaches the equivalent of several $1,000s for optimized participants. That optimistic scenario requires smart V2G management systems that control discharge depth, temperature windows, and cycle frequency automatically, rather than simply maximizing energy export regardless of battery conditions. The practical verdict on V2G for Tesla owners in 2026 comes down to 3 factors. Your battery chemistry matters more than any other single variable. LFP owners have a meaningfully better case for V2G participation than NMC owners based on cycle life, thermal tolerance, and battery wear cost per session. The compensation rate your program offers relative to your battery replacement cost determines whether V2G is financially beneficial or a slow drain on your most expensive asset. Run the math with your specific pack size, replacement cost estimate, and program compensation rate before enrolling. A system that protects your battery during V2G operation produces dramatically better outcomes than a dumb system that simply exports energy whenever the grid asks for it. If you are enrolled in a V2G program or considering one, drop your chemistry, compensation rate, and mark it in the comments. Real owner V2G economics from different markets would make a genuinely useful follow-up video. And if you want to keep getting honest data on everything Tesla ownership, hit subscribe. I will see you in the next one.